Welcome to the Pirates of Drinax. We will be picking up where we left off a couple of weeks ago. Excuse me. Still getting over a cold that I was gifted for Christmas. Thank you, whoever gave it to me. You bastard.
I did. I mailed it to
Yeah,
you.
it was a computer
You want
virus.
Yeah,
You emailed it to me, you
I
bastard.
did. Yeah.
So, this is our first Pirates of Drinax game of the new year of 2025. Hooray! And so, we're going to be picking up with our Navy characters, where we last saw the Navy characters. So, they had transferred over to a new ship, the Eurisco, which is a planet-class heavy cruiser, under the command... What was her name? You know, and I knew this, but now I'm drawing a blank. Her name was Captain Kaja Lanat, and she is affectionately known amongst the crew as the Old Woman. She is a no-nonsense, straightforward captain. She will tell you how it is. It's known that she's never going to go down as one of the great naval commanders of the Third Imperium, but she is well loved by her crew. And she is a veteran of pirate hunting skirmishes and whatnot. She is a harsh taskmaster and a dogged fighter, but she is reasonable, and her crew can actually talk to her. Beneath her is her first officer, Commander Strayland. And Strayland, compared to Lanat, Strayland is kind of a little wet behind the ears. He is a by-the-books executive officer. If you are asking for something that is outside the regs, he has no ability to really work his way through that. He will open a regulations book and look it up and give you an answer one way or the other. And if he doesn't have that answer, he'll probably ask the Old Woman. You have met, the Navy characters have met the mechanical genius aboard Eurisco, who goes by the name, who is nicknamed the Fixer. He is his real name is Brell, and he goes around and he basically can get you anything you want for a price kind of situation. He's very shady, and the Old Woman would have kicked his ass out of a torpedo tube a long time ago, except that he is a genius when it comes to engineering and being able to fix things around the ship. The biggest difference with the Eurisco versus other planet-class cruisers is that it carries a flight of fighters, light fighters. How many does it have? It has 20 10-ton light fighters, and that the CAG of the squadron is a woman named Rhoda Red Voidborn, and she basically came to the Navy. The Old Woman, actually, in her younger years, found Red as a child during a pirate run, a skirmish. They were rooting out a pirate base, and rather than, putting her into an airlock with the rest of her family, the Old Woman took her under her wing. And yes, Red's parents were executed as pirates, but the child was brought back to a naval base, and really, as an orphan, she grew up on Pax Rulin and ended up joining the Navy thanks to the Old Woman, and became one of the best pilots in the area. Now, this all sounds well and good, and that would have been all well and good, except that at the last minute before shipping out of Pax Rulin, a nobleman Vice Admiral Krond, who is actually a Vice Admiral of the Tobian Planetary Navy, took command. And he brought his retinue of sycophants with him, primarily Ogleby, who is his essentially, I mean, in air quotes, best friend, but also his right hand man. And Ogleby is rather dour and pretty much grimaces and points and doesn't talk much unless it's to tell you what to do. They took command and formed, using the Eurisco as his flagship, and formed the 198th Punitive Flotilla. And he plans to go throughout the Trojan Reach, burning out pirates to the very end. And his goal, his ultimate goal, is to find the famed pirate planet and burn it to cinders. And
Thief?
so, I'm sorry, what was that?
Thief?
Well, nobody knows. And he, Vice Admiral Krond, certainly does not know.
Okay, so we don't know about Thief.
You
And
probably don't know about Thief.
Mhm.
What I can tell you is that amongst the Admiralty and captains, probably the old woman, she's probably in the know. There are several that know about Thief. They may not know it as a pirate world because the Lords of Thieves tend to cover that kind of thing up. But the Lords of Thieves, especially in the upper city, are known to entertain the occasional Imperial naval ship. So, but not being of the Imperial Navy, and certainly not well liked, Vice Admiral Krond wouldn't know dick about Thief. So, but he is searching throughout the Trojan Reach, wanting to burn this pirate planet to cinders. And you guys, being the Marines, with Happy being your naval pilot assigned to your group, have the joyous time of putting up with his crap. Now, the last time that, and you've had some misadventures. There was the missed jump there in the Sunless Voterate, which led to a minor diplomatic incident that you actually handled that very well, and you were able to smooth that over.
surprisingly.
So, yeah, surprisingly, some good rolls and some good role play led to fixing that. And you met back up with the Eurisco at Albi. And as soon as you boarded the Eurisco, you were ordered by Ogleby to install a hollow entertainment system in one of the Eurisco's lounges that it seems that Vice Admiral Krond and his circle of sycophants have kind of taken over. Your colonel here, Wes, informed Ogleby that you're not really. You guys are Marines. You're not really competent to install something like a hollow entertainment system, and Ogleby told you to get it done or be written up. And so that is what you are currently doing, is installing this hollow entertainment system. And that is where we will be picking up. Before we get started, we would like to thank a friend of the Greenwater Guildhall. None of these are sponsorships or partnerships of any kind. They are just products that we really like. And tonight, we would like to thank Fable Beard Company. Fable Beard makes wonderful beard products such as oils, balms, butters, beard wash, beard conditioner, all-natural deodorant. They've got spray-on colognes, all manner of stuff. There is a women's line, obviously not for beards. Well, I mean, maybe, but I mean, it is 2025, right? But they have things such as facial scrubs and body frosting and hair tonic, and they've got a shave serum, all the good stuff. And all of these different products are all of their scents are based on fantasy characters. Tonight I am wearing Dr. Wolf. It is a light blueberry and pipe tobacco scent. Very, very nice light cologne. But they have a ton of different scents. I recommend really reading through it. They've done a lot better job of putting the profile of what to expect with the scent up front. And I will tell you that I have not found any that I hated. There was one I probably won't buy it again, and I didn't particularly care for it. But that was my fault because it does have patchouli in it, and I'm not a fan of patchouli. I think it smells like homeless people and cheese. But they have a bunch, so definitely check out everything. They do have a buy one get one free option for new purchasers. If you go to fablebeardco.com and create an account, you can put 2 beard oils into your cart, and when you check out, you can use the code FIRST in all capital letters, and that second beard oil will be discounted to free. We also have a merch store. In fact, I think there's a 30% off sale that is going until midnight tonight on everything on the site, as a matter of fact. But we have t-shirts and buttons and hoodies and a beer stein and a Whiskey Rocks glass, and there's all manner of good stuff on there. 100% of the proceeds from that store goes back into our channel. If you want to help us out paying for things like our Roll20 Pro subscription or Incarnate Pro, go get yourself a Whiskey Rocks glass. We appreciate everything you do for us. So, who among you, let's see here, who among you has either electronics computers plus intellect, or engineering power plus intellect? Or I'll just let you make a good old mechanic plus intellect. Whoever has those skills. Or not. I mean, you make them untrained. It's just you're at -3.
I got electronics as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also have electronics and zero.
While you're hooking up this entertainment system and everything, I want to make sure that you cut the power to any type of refrigeration or beverage machinery here in this lounge. Fuck these guys. If they want to fucking use this for this bullshit, then make sure that you do the job just as barely passable on the entertainment was all our orders. We were not told to maintain the integrity of any other entertainment or luxury systems in the thing. And if they have prime thing, I want to search the area while they're hooking it up. And if they have prime shit like good coffee or good desserts and all that, I want to steal that shit and bring it down to the marine areas for us to enjoy.
Okay.
Yeah. So whoever has the weakest skills can go play with
Colonel Zayden, make a investigate plus intellect check. Gregor got a 7. What about Jace and Captain Darren?
6.
7.
Okay. So, no, that's fine. It was a routine check because it's not going to be difficult for you guys to figure this shit out. So, this particular lounge was originally an officer's mess. And it seems that Vice Admiral Krond and his group of friends that he brought with him have kind of taken it over as their private area. Looking at this entertainment system, this Hollow entertainment system is the latest and greatest entertainment hardware, straight from not just Charted Space, but directly from Core, being the core systems, the capital of the Third Imperium. So this is tech level 15 high tech shit, right? It'll do everything from video games to holographic displays of live concerts from orbit to movies to whatever they want to do.
So since we're installing it, we could activate the parental controls and not give them the code. We could set our own code.
You could activate parental controls, yes.
Yeah. Do that because
But happy. So when you get to this lounge, you see that there's a cadre of other people here working on the same project. There must be about 10 other people working on this, 10 other crewmen. Some of them are actually from engineering, but most of them are like some people pulled from flight status, deck crew, people that have no business doing this work. Happy, Darren, and Jace look this job over and realize that installing this is going to mean rewiring computer systems on half of this deck. Deck 3, particularly. Meaning that this is going to take several weeks worth of work to do the installation. However, Colonel Zayden, you see that they have already stocked, very well stocked, the bar of this officers club.
Well, hell yeah. I think I'm going to take my time and just unstock all that. We can switch the cushions of the seats out with those that we have in the Marines barracks.
Swap their chairs.
Yes. We want the luxury chairs and all of that. And
when I say that the bar is very well stocked, there are boxes of Tobian cigars. There are crates of whiskey and brandy, all coming from the core world, and this is the top shelf expensive shit. And I say when I say cases, like you
stealing the Navy shit,
you could probably steal 3 or 4 bottles of this stuff, and nobody's. I mean, there's so much of it here, nobody's going to even know.
Man, 1 or 2 cases is just not things. It has to go. It needs to be replaced with the bullshit that they've stocked off in their general quarters. We're switching it all out. That's if we've got a couple of weeks of rewiring and shit to do in here, it should be easy to smuggle it all out in sizable portions under the guise of tools and parts and everything else, and then turn on the parental controls. Make sure that only Jace knows the code, and nobody's supposed to tell anybody that Jace is the one that has the code.
Jace has the code.
Yeah.
I got the what now? No.
I don't remember what the code was. So you guys are going to spend the next
69, 420. I can remember it.
You guys are going to spend the next several weeks installing this ridiculous system. You're talking about 8 hours a day.
Wonderful.
Next several weeks, and the ship jumps. No, the ship doesn't jump. The ship, you met up with them in Elby. In addition, so Colonel Zayden, in addition to this work, you guys are kind of working with your sleeves rolled up and running new fiber optic lines and tearing apart, like I said, half of Deck 3 trying to get this thing hooked up. And a runner from the bridge, comes down and gives Colonel Zayden an order from the bridge, from Vice Admiral Crond, that in addition to this, you guys need to go get into dress uniform to act as honor guard for a landing party going to Albie.
Let's get dressed.
We got to do it.
All right.
Do
Yeah.
as I'm told.
Yeah. We got to do it. Yeah.
Should we bring a bottle?
Yes. This is a diplomatic mission and honor guard, and nothing is more honorable than taking their best cigars and alcohol. You know, I want all of it graded out so that way we're only taking the best shit until it runs out, and then we'll go to the next best shit. It's mandatory every 30 minutes. You got to take a drink and eat a snack and smoke a cigar, even if it means that the job takes 3 weeks. It's important that we do this right.
So,
Nice.
Yeah.
Happy will be piloting the pinnace, taking you and the Vice Admiral and Ogilby, as well as the old woman, down to the surface of Albie. So, Happy, go ahead and make a piloting small craft plus dex check.
Who's got Pappy?
Not Pappy, Happy.
Happy.
That's Glenn.
Okay. Good.
That's a 12.
Okay. So Happy makes this look pretty easy. He launches from the Eurisco and kind of turns upside down and brings the pinnace at the perfect angle into the atmosphere of Albie. And as soon as the fire coming across the hull breaks off and you get a view through the cloud layer, there's not a whole lot to see. Albie is a very brown planet. In fact, brown, more of a sand tone fawn, really. It is a desert world.
It's a shithole.
Well, not really.
Sandhole.
I mean, yes.
Sandhole?
Yes. Sandhole. Yes. Yes. It is, but it's not. So, looking through
Welcome to Arrakis.
Yeah. Kind of, yeah. Kind of, in a way. So, it is a desert world. Looking through your hand terminals, you realize it tells you a little bit about the history of Albie. Albie was settled to exploit lanthanum deposits. And during the Sindalian Empire, Albie was basically second only to Noricum. And Noricum used to be named Sindal. It was the seat of the empire. And so Albie was kind of second to Noricum in terms of power and wealth. And it had superior industrial production and vastly superior financial sway because of its lanthanum production. The Dukes of Albie could basically buy and sell emperors, and they used to insultingly call the emperors of Sindal the dogs of Albie for their reference towards how the emperors would bring down the wrath of the empire on anybody that crossed them. Well, more than 2/3 of the empire's wealth was pouring into Albie's coffers, and the planet kind of underwent a massive population boom. The planet could potentially support a few million people safely. And it then overshot that carrying capacity and became a population of 100 billion. This was pretty much a disaster. The last Duke of, well, there is still a Duke of Albie. But the Duke before him was known as Gorloon the Undying, and he reigned just slightly before the Civil War that broke out that pretty much destroyed the Sindalian Empire. Oh, we're getting some background noise there. Sorry. Uh, so he reigned just before the end of the Sindalian Empire during the Civil War, and then pretty much 8 years into that Civil War, and he ended up being killed by teeming mobs of cannibals because these 100 billion people were starving. They had no water, and the entire planet was going under because the emperors of Sindal during the Civil War cut them off from all of the trade routes, and he ended up being eaten in a event known as Gorloon's Feast. The current emperor, or excuse me, current Duke of Albi is Gorloon III, and he was put into place not too long ago. Well, yes, it was quite a while ago, but he was put into place by the bureaucracy, and he is a distant relative of Gorloon the Undying, so that kind of put him royally on the seat. And the bureaucracy made the decision that he was just going to be put into deep freeze, and every year they thaw him out in order to sign official documents and then put him back into deep freeze. The bureaucracy made overtures to the Imperium to join the Third Imperium and, of course, open trade routes to sell their very lucrative lanthanum, which the Third Imperium is starving for because lanthanum is a primary product needed to create jump drives. And so they have agreed to become a part. They've become a client state of the Imperium. They're not. I don't. Well, yeah, they are full on in the Imperium, aren't they? They are inside the borders. But every so often, and such is the case here, more or less, you guys are coming down here to kind of reaffirm that entire handshake and oh yeah, you're loyal to the Imperium and photo op and then you leave kind of situation. And so, Happy brings you guys in as you're reading all of this rather kind of slightly disturbing Frankenstein government that they've got going on for this planet. And you receive a communication. This is Albi Downport, Penis from ISS Eurisco. You are cleared for landing on pad 4. So, Happy, you can go ahead and make another piloting small craft plus dex check. Man, Happy's a damn good pilot. So, Happy brings you guys down, just and lands you on this rather stately-looking pad. I mean, looking out the windows as you come down, you would not guess that this. Yes, it's a desert, but it's still. It's a very nice. It's a very nice city, very nice building. People are everywhere. You do see high security, kind of as an official state visit. That they've made a hole through the throngs that move throughout the spaceport, and of course, Vice Admiral Krond. I think I got a picture of this d-bag. In fact, I do. Vice Admiral Krond. Which, one thing to note about Krond, and pretty much everybody on the crew knows, that he is actually a member of the Tobian Planetary Navy. He is engaged to a woman named Princess Eridani, who is the niece of the Duke of Tobia, the Sector Duke of that region. that's his only claim to fame is the fact that he's engaged to somebody important. Aside from that, he's pretty much a nobody. I mean, he's impressive, but not that impressive. And he's hoping to use this to kind of secure his future, this marriage. In order to secure the marriage, he has to do something impressive with this punitive fleet. It's pretty well known. Your pirate characters met Eridani at Verito. She was at the little welcome ball. Anyways, the weird thing is that he does not wear the red and gold uniform of the Tobian planetary military. Instead, he wears the blue uniform of the 3rd Imperium Navy.
What?
Yes. There is a reason for that. And that reason is...
His knowledge better.
Well, that. But... It's... Right. It is a... It is a perception thing. For the most part... planetary forces, especially in the Imperial Navy and honestly on most planets, are going to be looked at rather not necessarily. They're not necessarily looked down upon, but they are not given the level of respect that the Imperial Navy is, and so he is kind of offsetting that by wearing his own. It is a Tobian uniform, but it is in the Imperial Navy colors, which to the average person in the Trojan Reach, they're not going to be able to tell the difference. So, you guys are his honor guard, and it is a formal state function. There are little canapes and pigs in blankets and there's plenty of champagne to go around. And during this event, the bureaucrats all wearing tuxedos and whatnot, they clap their hands, and at the front of this stage, they wheel out what looks like a slightly higher tech version of a low berth. And they have a doctor come out and crack this thing open, and in ship's pajamas, this old guy steps out and looks around confusedly, and one of the doctors has him raise his hand and kind of helps him hold his arm up by holding a hand under his elbow, and has them recite the oath that read, and kind of whispering in his ear and telling him to repeat it, whispering the oath that Albie took to join the Imperium. And this old guy's like, okay, and he just kind of repeats it, and then they hold out a data pad and have him place his hand on it. And Vice Admiral Kron comes up, and they hold the guy's arm out and have him shake his hand. And he says, "Oh, as a representative of the 3rd Imperium of mankind, I welcome you once again, Albie, in reaffirming your statesmanship, and am happy to have you as a part of the Imperium." And there's applause all throughout the crowd. And the old guy lets go of his hand, and he's like looking around like he doesn't know where he's at. And then the doctors stick him back into the low berth and shut the door and freeze him again. Like, they'll pull him out again in another year or so, whenever they need him to sign some documents. But other than that, you guys can all make, if you have it, or if you don't, I don't care. You can make a carouse plus social check.
There we go. I said some very offensive things.
11.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
I got a 1.
Oh, shit.
I made a crass joke, and then you took it further.
Oh, hell yeah. Man,
Gregor got a 3.
Duke, he ain't real Imperial, man. Imperial, man. He's some
Yeah, and I don't
bullshit
drink.
Kabayan shit, man. I don't know why we're stuck out here with this cocksucker. He ain't worth a shit.
You know the rule. It's 12 hours. You can't drink for 12 hours before you fly.
But that's okay. That's a good rule. So yeah, so Ting's a Marine colonel.
Zayden.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, not Ting. Colonel Zayden. Really not meant for this sort of thing. Goes and Zayden is getting shit faced.
Mm-hmm.
Has said a number of things, insulted a number of people.
Well,
Gregor, you have the misfortune of just kind of ending up having to hang around Ogilby and Vice Admiral Crond. And
Can I kill myself?
you can make a recon plus intellect check as well.
got 1 week trained in corrals.
I'm learning a lot the first week.
Yeah. You got to go low before you know how to go high, you know?
Yeah. You're gonna get all you can out of it.
Got a 9.
Okay, so you pick up kind of hanging at the outskirts of this, upper echelons clique that is going on, and you pick up a couple of pieces of information. So the first piece of information, one of these ships that Crond has dragged into this Imperial Flotilla is called the Storm of Arrows. Storm of Arrows is an Ulfhednar class escort carrier that carries a small swarm of fighters. Well, evidently, Crond is under the impression that the Storm of Arrows is a impressive ship to have in his fleet, despite the fact that Eurisco itself carries 20 light fighters. Where is the Ulfhednar? Let me take a look. Ulfhednar. So the Ulfhednar class carries 12 light fighters, that's it. But he thinks that it's a 2,000-ton escort carrier, 12 light fighters. He thinks that it is the cream of the crop. But because he pressed it into service, it didn't have a full complement and is missing some of their pilots. And so he has transferred some of the pilots from the Eurisco over to the Storm of Arrows. And his plan is that he intends to have crew aboard the Eurisco basically press ganged into being trained as pilots. Now, of course, Eurisco does have simulators and excellent flight staff. And during this conversation, he makes the comment to Ogilby. Ogilby actually, for his part, even being a complete dickbag, Ogilby makes the comment that he doesn't think that that's such a great idea. And Vice Admiral Crond turns to Happy, and he says, well, what rank is Happy? Do we remember? I kind of figured you were at least a lieutenant.
I'm a lieutenant commander now.
Okay. Vice Admiral Crond kind of just shoos off Ogilby, just poo-poos everything he says. Says, oh, that's absurd. Lieutenant Commander Happy, I'm sure that you would be happy to... no pun intended, sir. I apologize. I'm sure that you would be excellent at being a part of the training operation for new pilots. In fact, I've got 3 in mind.
More flying for me. That's good, sir.
He says, "Oh, this will be, it's not going to be a level of training that, say, the lieutenant commander has received, but I believe that in an 8-week period, we should be able to train them on gunnery systems and how to fly a basic craft."
Do we have access to simulators?
You will have full access to simulators, and for the training op of this magnitude, I am going to place you in command of that training op, so don't put up with any guff from anybody else. And he just kind of laughs.
Can I use your XO to help that?
He says, "Oh, certainly, I will definitely put," and I've already forgotten his name. I will definitely put...
Just call him XOSO.
Yes, I will definitely put Commander Strayland at your disposal as far as making this happen.
It's always good to have another asshole.
Yes. If the crew doesn't hate the XO is not doing his job. What did Jace get on her roll? Or his roll?
5.
So, Jace, you are kind of wandering around, talking to a number of different individuals around this party. You're getting a little tipsy. You're not as... You can hear Colonel Zayden from across this room, right? But, so you're not quite that bad. But, you're getting a little tipsy, drinking plenty of champagne, and you're hearing stories from a number of people that are relating rumors from around the Trojan Reach, or things that they've heard from spacers coming through Alby's starport. And there are rumors that there is a new successor to the Sindalian Empire, that the kingdom of Drinax is attempting to build a new kingdom from the ashes of the old. And there's plenty of laughs about that. That the new kingdom will probably get smashed by the Aslan just the way the old kingdom did. And then there are other talks of a more serious nature that Drinax has gone so far as to engage in piracy in order to enforce their trade routes. And a lot of people scoff at this. They don't necessarily believe it. They think that's absurd. How could that possibly ever work?
That's a pretty crazy plan.
But there are still a few that are like, no, it has worked in a couple of cases. There are some promises. Then you pick up another rumor that is completely crazy about some treaty that the Aslan have that allows them to invade the Trojan Reach. And that this treaty was agreed to by the Imperium, and that it basically sacrifices this Trojan Reach.
Ooh.
And there's rumors going around that this treaty has been seen by a number of people, especially along the Dust Belt. Marduk, Clark, Torpal, a number of worlds have claimed to have seen this treaty. And so there are rumors flying about that there could be an Aslan invasion. Darren, let's see here. So while you are, you're sitting there, you're pretty much behaving yourself. You're sipping. You're not getting tipsy or drunk. and you hear a lot of the same rumors. There is a tap on your shoulder, and when you turn around, it is one of the it is another crew member from the Eurisco, and he says, "Sorry, Captain, sir, can I speak to you for a moment?"
Certainly.
He says, and he kind of pulls you aside. And he says, "We'll need to speak quietly."
What is this about?
He says, "Well, there's a number of us, sir, that are a little bit concerned about the vice admiral's command." And he gets his face kind of wrinkles up in a look of disgust. And he goes, "Sir, he's sidelined the old woman. This is her ship, and this guy just seems to show up out of nowhere from Tobiah, and he brings his drinking buddies with him. Like, I'm not suggesting, a mutiny or anything. Like, it doesn't have to.
Of course, you're not suggesting a mutiny.
He says, no. He says, no, really. He goes, it doesn't have to be that dramatic. He goes, if things start to get confused, I'd like to know that you guys that you and your platoon or your squad are on our side. You've got the old woman's back, right?
We're certainly not on the Vice Admiral's side, so don't worry about that.
Says, okay, thank you, sir. I'm sorry to bug you about this. Go ahead and make a recon plus intellect check.
Okay. Wow. Oh wow. 11.
Okay. As this guy's talking to you, you can smell that he's been drinking a bit. But he tells you, he goes, it's really good to know that you and your squad are on the old woman's side, not his.
Well, we're certainly going to support your team if we need to.
So thank you, sir. And he kind of meanders off through the throng of people. Pretty much you make it through this diplomatic ridiculousness event, staying long enough to watch them wheel the freezer chamber backstage. And pretty much Kron kind of finishes his drink and says, all right, we've been down here. You've been down here for maybe a couple of hours. He says, all right, we've been here long enough. And he turns to Happy and says, Lieutenant Commander, let's board up and let's head out. And Commander Strayland kind of holds up his hand and kind of waves everybody around. Says, Marines, load up. And you guys board again the pinnace and make your way back up to the Eurisco.
Be back. Yeah, where we can get more cigars.
Yes, more cigars, more booze. The Eurisco stays on point at Albi for another couple of weeks. This entire time, you are doing 8 hours a day of wiring in this this job. Everybody can make either a engineering power, electronics, computers, or a mechanic plus intellect or education check.
I'm on my shit today. 5. I got 9.
And the colonel got a 6.
Yep.
Oh. We shouldn't have drank so much at work.
Right. You guys are drinking while you're wiring stuff. So you
does the black go to the black or does the black go to the red?
Right. Yes. Whatever.
Just twist them all together.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Just use some duct tape.
Pattern. Yeah.
Just use some duct tape. You're fine. So about three weeks of this shit goes by. You finally get this thing installed, but it still has a couple of problems. But the remainder of the technician, well, and that's using that term broadly. The remainder of the other technicians assure you they're like, we think we can get this ironed out, at least to a working point. Some of the voice commands might dim the lights every time they turn on a program, but
Well,
we think that it'll work out. During that, at the end of that 3 weeks, the Eurisco jumps for Rilgar, and Rilgar is another naval base. And it is at this naval base that Krond has Navy technicians install state-of-the-art simulators, flight simulators, and Colonel Zayden, you are given orders for you and Gunnery Sergeant Jace and Captain Darren to report to Lieutenant Commander Happy for flight and gunnery training.
Yay.
awesome. I'm
Yeah,
excited to
we'll go.
learn from Happy.
Yeah,
So
we'll go do that.
So
It's like, never point a weapon unless you plan on killing it.
the weapon or whatever it is you're pointing at.
Whatever you're pointing at.
Never
I
pull out a
actually
weapon
got
unless you're
your
going to kill the
gunner.
weapon.
Don't listen to him. He's the pilot. I'm the gun person.
Yeah.
So let me pull up a character sheet here.
First lesson. You see this button here that says autopilot? Press it.
Right? Yes, that is your
Pretty
friend.
good.
That's what I do.
You see this button? It says auto fire. You press
Yes.
it.
It's the one that says auto fire too.
You know,
I'm doing
actually, and now you're going to make me look, but there might be. Let's see here, Light Fighter. What software is it running? It does. It has Fire Control 1. So there is you can tell the computer, and 2D plus 1, it can fire the fixed mounted pulse laser in the front. It's probably like playing one of those mobile games where as long as you're pointed at the target, it just keeps shooting. If you can swipe to move your ship around and stuff. So what I was looking at. Happy, go ahead and make a. What is your rank in pilot small craft?
2.
Okay, so go ahead and make a pilot small craft plus education check. That's pretty fucking good. Okay, so and then this. Okay, so Zayden, Darren, and Jace, you can all roll 2D plus your intellect, and you get a +2 to that
Okay.
for excellent teaching.
9.
Oh, I also got 9.
I got an 11.
Okay, so if I remember, Jace, didn't you already have pilot?
Let me see. I have pilot 1 small craft.
Okay, so you don't get any bonus to that. You ace the course.
Yeah.
Darren, did you have pilot at all?
I have pilot capital.
You now get pilot small craft 1.
Oh, nice.
And does Colonel Zayden have any pilot?
No.
You get pilot 0. So, I mean, technically, you can sit down at the controls of anything. You are competent.
Fun time.
And then, does Happy have a gunner turret?
Nope.
You do not. Do you have any gunner?
I have Gunner 1.
You have gunner 1, but it's not in turret?
I don't know if it is or not. It just says Gunner 1.
Interesting.
I mean, I think when I generated the characters, it gave me Gunner 1, but I didn't know what to make it.
I would imagine it'd probably be gunner turret 1 since you're primarily flying a small craft. So fixed mount and turret weapons both use gunner turret.
Thank you.
So go ahead and make a gunner turret plus education check.
Gunner turret plus education. That's a +2.
Them pilots and their good edumacation. Ooh. Ooh.
Gotta roll bad once in a while.
Yes, you do. So, Zayden, Jace, and Darren roll 2d plus your intellect -2.
-2.
Yes.
I somehow got 9.
Okay.
I got 5.
Oof. So the only one out of you. So does Jace already have gunner turret at all?
I just had, I just had Gunner 1, so I don't know.
I guess it would be.
I'd imagine.
That would be gunner turret 1. Or, I mean, if you want, I mean. Now I gotta look at. I thought one of you had like gunner capital, something ridiculous where you could fire the fucking bay weapons and shit. Maybe not. Let's see, there's turret, artillery, screen, or capital. Artillery is for like bombing planets.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah, you can keep gunner 1 as artillery 1 because that just sounds fun. And then you gain gunner turret 1.
Okay, cool.
Oh, that went down the wrong pipe.
Yeah. But Darren and Zayden are really not doing all that great with your study. The instruction just wasn't that good. But somehow Jace picked it up.
I had gunner turret 1.
Oh, you do have gunner turret 1. Okay, well that's good.
Right. So if I got that, then I would have actually got an 8. But
well, this was really just to see how well his instruction. So Eurisco makes a stopover, I believe, at Chachila Weedaque, but I might be wrong about that. What does it say he's doing? It says, oh no, yes. Makes a stopover for a week at Chachila Weedaque. It then jumps to Palindrome, and there's a week at Palindrome. All of you, you can make a gambling plus intellect check.
Okay, so 6.
4.
3.
Oh man. And 5. Each of you, while on a 2-day shore leave pass at Palindrome, you each lose 400 credits. Gambling and drinking and etc.
All right.
Chasing skirts.
But from Palindrome, the Orisco jumps to Boulder. Oh. Wait, hold on. Let me look. I
Pirates
thought
have never been to Boulder. Mm-mm.
so. Boulder. What can I tell you about Boulder? Probably not much. There's not much to see.
I probably would have never been there.
Right. Boulder was once a mining belt, similar to the Wilderman cluster, but it has been worked out. Population in the mining belt numbers in the tens of millions that are clustered around a few of the largest hollowed out asteroids. Boulder itself, the system has a Class B starport that is pretty much unused, as the natives don't like to have contact with the outside universe. They're kind of secular and insular. They are xenophobic. They have a prejudice against outsiders that is cultural, and is the result of several epidemics throughout the asteroid clusters that were brought in by visitors. And it seems that these outside viruses and bacteria, once they get into one of the asteroid colonies, they just flourish in a kind of hothouse condition. These colonies act like incubators, and so everybody gets sick, and there have been many deaths. And so culturally, the people of Boulder just kind of eschew outsiders. You guys, including Colonel Zayden, you're on the bridge of the Eurisco, and when she comes out of jump, and so you guys are up here in this tiny little two squares here that are number 2 of the bridge, and you know. Vice Admiral Krond is there. You don't see the old woman on the bridge, although Commander Strayland is there. And Vice Admiral Krond, as soon as you come out, he orders Sense Ops to begin a sweep of the system. And so the sensor operator begins scanning the system, and he kind of turns. Who knows why, but he turns kind of over his shoulder to Colonel Zayden, and he says, I thought ahead and had a fuel depot set up here in Boulder.
Oh, well, look at you.
Part of the,
You know, the
it's a
the
part of the
toothbrush was
strategic.
invented in Tobiah. Well,
Make it.
Anywhere else would have named it a teeth brush.
Make a deception plus social check.
Okay. A 4.
He kind of pauses and looks at you like, "The fuck are you going on about?" And he goes, "Anyways, I had a fuel depot constructed here in Boulder. It's part of the strategic planning that one must do when they're in command. So a fleet as big as the 198th Punitive Flotilla will need to refuel, and this was an excellent strategic position for a fuel depot." Just then, the sensor operator comes up and he says, "Sir, we're detecting that there's a small craft or a small starship that is docked with our fuel depot." He says, according to readings from the depot, they're siphoning off fuel from the 50,000-ton tank that's there. And then you can hear communications crackle over the comms, and you hear a voice come in, and he says, "This is Free Trader Harold. We are really thankful to see you guys show up. We're really sorry. We misjumped and ended up here. We needed to refuel in a hurry." And Vice Admiral Krond immediately turns to the communications officer and says, "Cut off that transmission. I want you to jam all transmissions coming from that pirate craft." And the technician starts to jam communications. And he turns to Zayden, Colonel Zayden. He says, "Go find Lieutenant Commander Happy. I want you, Jace, and Darren to board, and you are to take the pinnace and 2 fighter craft out to that craft, and you are to eliminate it. It is a pirate. I will not tolerate pirates stealing Imperial fuel."
He didn't bother to defend it at all. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
This will be more
Sure,
fun
this
than
worked.
wiring an entertainment system.
Yeah. I'll be like, yeah, all right. We'll go do
Suit
it.
up.
Yeah. Sit up.
So, my question to you is, who? Let's see here. So you have the option, and this is up to you guys. So he's basically told you to go out and eliminate this ship. You could take 4 fighters. You could take the pinnace and a fighter. You could just take the pinnace. It's up to you. How do you want to? Do you want to board it and find out what the fuck's going on, or do you want to just eliminate it?
Man, I'm thinking if we take 4 fighters and fire upon the fueling station while the ship is docked there, the problem will take care of itself.
Just accidentally destroy the fuel depot and friendly fire.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Okay.
This guy is bullshit. Yeah, this guy is bullshit. Pirates fucking. They've put their pirate disease on the ship, and it must be eradicated.
You gotta cleanse the system of it.
Okay.
If we blow it up, we can just blame it on the pirates. Okay.
Yeah, we can just say they blew themselves up or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, the main thing is that Vice Admiral Kron doesn't get to report any kind of success. That's my mission. Fuck that dude.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do this thing, just as he said to.
Yep. We're gonna go eradicate that pirate. So
okay.
That's what he didn't say how. He didn't put any parameters on it, and that, to me, that means we can just do our thing.
We like blowing stuff up, so let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, in your journals, if you need to look at it, there we go. Your fighters are now named. And in your journal, there is, of course, the light fighter. That is right here.
Awesome.
So it's got a fixed mount pulse laser on the front, thrust 6. It's got a whole whopping 4 hull points, but it does have crystalline armor rating of 2.
Alright. Sounds fun.
I didn't think you guys were going to be so shit happy to blow up a civilian transport. But
well, I mean,
you can always take on the cruiser.
yes, and your light fighters, yes.
Well, it's not like they're Imperium. We're in Imperium space. We can do what we want as long as it's within the parameters of the Imperial command.
That
Mm-hmm.
is pretty much true. Yeah.
Yeah, what are they gonna do about it? Fucking nothing.
Yeah. What's he gonna do about it? Nothing.
We shot a kid one time. And it was pretty much all
I know, man. It's all right.
saying.
Yeah.
Everybody
and all
go-
we did for punishment is make that dude go do a diplomatic thing out of the blind without knowing shit.
Everybody go ahead and roll your initiative. 2D plus either Dex or Intellect.
Yeah, fine.
Now
Wait.
I have Naval Tactics 4. Does that mean I add that to my initiative?
You could go ahead and make a naval tactics check. Naval tactics
Might.
plus intellect or education.
May increase everybody's.
Yeah,
What's a
it
Marine?
may improve everybody's initiative.
What's a Marine doing with naval tactics?
Man, I've got both tactics. I'm better in naval tactics than regular tactics. Sue me.
He can have a hobby.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have a hobby.
I got a 10.
Okay, so
My hobby right now is
so
building Raspberry and
This-
computers.
yes,
Oh, cool.
this says the Raspberry is a fucking sweet computer. Actually, been thinking about actually building one myself.
I got 3 of them sitting here ready to install the OS.
Nice. What OS are you installing?
I'm going to use Raspbian Lite because one of them's going to be a web server and one's going to be a NAS.
Nice.
And then the other one's going to be just a regular desktop with Raspbian 64-bit.
Yeah, I was thinking about installing Mint to one, but it says
Who knows what I'm going to do next? Because one of them is going to be a Meteor player.
nice. Let me look at combat. Combat. One traveler or character under the referee's control may make a tactics check to start. The effect of this check is then applied. So, a 10, everybody gets to add 2 to their initiative.
Oh man.
And so, Gregor, you got a 10 on your init, I believe, which gives you 12.
It still sucks, but that's better than.
Marginally better. Yeah.
Yeah, that's better than 4, right? All right, Jace. You have 6 thrust points. So, the other thing I was looking at, and we're going to use this for this combat because, and this is a little bit different than what we were talking about for Deep Night, because I found this chart, and let me double check. So let's see if it's in here. Whoops, a little too fast. Slow that down. It is not in here. Okay, good to know. So, and this might just be in the most recent update, there is a ship movement chart. So it says that the range band of short, 11 to 1,250 kilometers, thrust required is 2. So literally at 6. So to move to medium range, 1,251 kilometers to 10,000 kilometers, thrust required is 5. And you're talking about like surface to orbit. So with 5 thrust points, you can go and just blast to orbit. You guys have thrust of 6. So Jace, how many thrust points do you want to use? A pulse laser. Pulse laser has a range of long.
What range am I at now? So it's 25 hex.
I would say you're
26
probably at
inches?
long. Everybody. So everybody make a piloting small craft plus dex check.
Oh, cool. Okay. 3.
Oh,
Oh no,
nice.
it's 4. It's 4, but that's still not good.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, I rolled you guys.
I got 8.
Kidding.
Looks
I
like
got 8.
everybody except for Jace made it. So
I got the book smart, but not the street one.
yes,
You know?
yes. Come to
More
find out,
simulator time for Jay, for more simulator time, lady.
yeah. So Jace takes off out of the tube. So there are launch tubes on the side of the Arisco, and you guys are launched out of these tubes, and Jace goes wild, kind of cockeyed. It costs you 2 thrust points just to gain control, and you're having a bit of a problem. But so you got 4 thrust points left. How much do you want to spend, or do you want to just open fire? If you open fire now, you'll be at -2.
So if I spend 2 more, I can get the medium range, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, I'd like to do that.
So
I don't
you
know how
can.
far to move my token.
So I will allow you to move your token 2 hexes. Well,
Okay, and then
let's double that. Let's move it another 2.
I should open fire probably and roll better.
Okay, so uh, piloting. You can just go ahead and make a go ahead and make a gunnery turret. And you get to add a +1 to that for fire control.
9.
That is a hit.
Oh,
Roll. Now let me double check something. Firing weapons. What about damage? Spacecraft and damage scale. I'm not really interested in damage scale. Do they add the effect? I guess they do. So what'd you roll? You rolled a 9. You get to roll 2d plus 1.
11.
Oof. Oof. Brutal. They have armor 2. You did 12, you said?
11.
11. So
Yeah.
he's going to take 9. And ooh. All right. So Jace got a critical hit. Because you do
Okay, damn.
every 10% of hull is a crit. Where is it? Radiation effects. Vehicle critical hits. Nope. Sorry. The book. There we go. So roll Roll 2d. What'd you get?
I got 2. I got snake eyes
Okay.
again.
Your targeting sensors register that you have hit them directly in the sensors. They're going to be a DM -2 for all sensors.
Sweet.
All
Nice.
right. Actually, do I? No, that's not what I wanted. That's... Oh yeah, that'll work. Yeah, not quite. Happy. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna move 3.
Okay. You can move 6 hexes.
So how far away am I?
So you're going this way. They're actually up here. I saw you moving sideways. Are you going around? Are you flanking them?
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought they were here.
Oh. No, they're all the way up here. So you could move. So you can, yeah, you could do that. All right, so you are at short range. What would you like to do?
I'd like to shoot, but short range doesn't give me anything.
You will have a +1 for fire control.
And what do I roll for the hit?
2d plus gunner turret plus your dex +1 for fire control.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. So gunner turret plus dex +1 for fire control. Holy shit. Okay. Yeah, that's a hit with a +8 to damage.
Okay.
So 2d plus 8. Damn. Okay. So they are going to take 12. And that. Go ahead and roll another 2d for critical. A 9. You have hit them directly in their cargo hold. 10% of their cargo is now spewing out into space. You see, your sensors are picking up that a number of the crates and whatnot that have been vacked out of their cargo hold are on fire and destroyed.
Can I tell what was in them?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Can I tell what was in the crates?
No, they're pretty much on fire. Or,
oh, darn.
debris.
It's full of fire. That's what's in there.
Yes, they were hauling illicit fire. Zayden, what would you like to do?
I want to use all 6 thrusts.
Okay, you can move 12 hexes.
Puts me right there.
Yeah. What do you want to do?
Yeah. So these big fuel tanks, it shouldn't be hard to get them to blow up if I hit them, right?
Yeah. I would say that these fuel tanks, that's a really good question. Which is gonna have. I didn't think about this. Let's see. I didn't plan on you doing vandalizing damage. Let's see here.
got a 6 intelligence. He said destroy the fucking far road, and that's what I'm doing.
Let's see. It is space station. I would say that these. So we already know that these are 50,000 ton fuel tanks. Each of these round things and this one are 50,000 tons each.
Mm.
So you're probably looking at a 200,000 ton station. So what kind of hull are we looking at?
Yeah, there's a lot of just
It's a lot of hydrogen.
volatile material. Yeah, it's,
So I need to go back here. Let's see. Okay, so construction time. This would be a dispersed structure. Hull points. Dispersed structure minus 10%. It means am I missing something? Let me go to the index. Hull points. Hull configure. Doesn't. I know. I'll do this. Okay. Minus 10%. Hull volume modifier.
are all these?
All of these are refueling stations.
Oh,
There's how many? There's 6. I mean, I can't see the whole
yeah.
map.
Yeah, it is 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like 5.
5. Okay.
Um, this is not telling me what I want to know. That's okay. Let me look at something close to this. Look at strike carrier. That's 75,000. We know that these are bigger than that. 100,000. Here's a 200,000. Holy shit, they've got like 72,000 hull points. But if you're aiming specifically for this, for that fuel tank, I would say that it's probably got 200 hull points, and you're probably, if you're aiming directly for that, I won't say that there's any negative to hitting it.
Okay.
So it would just be gunner turret plus dex plus 1 for fire control.
Okay. So the chances of me making it all blow up are slim to none. is the
Probably, yeah, because you're gonna have to breach 200 hull points worth of tank.
I believe in you. Don't let
yeah.
it get you down.
Now,
Oh man,
if you wanted to do something like aim for the fuel lines that are connected to the Far Trader, I would say that you're at like a -2 to that roll, but that could start a problem because that would ignite
that's
that
what I want
hydrogen
to
fuel.
do. Yeah, that's what I want to do. Then
So
I'll take the -2.
So rather than moving here, you would want to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You're probably
Yeah.
not. I'm going to say you've been. That's as far as you could. Well, maybe not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. From there, you could make your shot. You'd be at -2.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. Yeah, I'll do that.
That
that ain't bad.
that is a +1 to damage. Now,
And what do these things do? 2d6?
so in order to hit your called shot, you would have had to get a success of 6 or better, or an effect of 6 or better. So you missed the called shot. Go ahead and roll a d6. 1 through 3, you hit the tanks. So you hit the rogue trader. Go ahead and roll 2d plus 1 for damage.
12.
So he's going to take another 10. Roll 2d.
3.
Power plant.
Ooh.
Power is reduced by 10%. You hit him right in the fucking ding. The rogue trader. A couple of things are going to happen. You are picking up that they are trying to transmit something across the communications band, but they are all you're getting. You're picking up that there's something transmitting, but the background noise from the jamming is just completely whited them out.
We don't want to get exposed to pirate propaganda, you guys. Probably good that we can't hear what they're saying.
Yeah.
But the pilot makes a 13 and is attempting to bug out. With their... I gotta go back.
Did he ignite the fuel lines when he just rips away like that?
No.
Well, that sucks. Yeah.
We want to see some cool explosions.
Man, I want all this shit to blow up. But you send us out. We're like a nuke that you know.
Maybe not choose them next time. So he's got thrust 1. Yeah, he's bugging at thrust 1. And they're going to return fire with a beam laser and no fire control. And they are going to aim for, I guess Happy is the closest. So they'll aim for Happy. Ooh, they hit.
Oh.
I'm dead.
Maybe.
Happy. That's huge, nicely.
You got some armor and some hull points, and you're surely in a vac suit, you know?
He's got 3 thrust points too, so
1d plus 2.
You
for
can
3 points. So your armor, you have 2 points of armor. That reduces it to 1. You've taken 1 hull point of damage. But
Can I use my other maneuver to do something?
you can actually. You could technically. So you've got thrust points left, right?
3.
So you can. So yes, you can do that. You can make a reaction check. Where is it? Reactions. Starting a battle. Firing weapons. Reactions. You can make an evasive maneuver. Pilot of a spacecraft may dodge incoming attack so long as the spacecraft has unspent thrust. Each point of unspent thrust will allow the spacecraft to attempt to dodge when attacked. The attacker suffers a negative DM equal to the pilot's skill. So,
I have a 2. My pilot skill is 2.
that would make it an 8. He would still hit. What else can you do? Disperse. You don't have a sandcaster. You don't have a point. You're not doing point defense against missiles. I mean, that would lessen the damage.
Yeah, he would only get 1 point of damage.
Yeah, he would only do 1 point of damage, which wouldn't get through your armor.
Let's do that.
Okay, so Happy kind of rolls, and this beam laser ricochets off of the armor of his fighter. Darren, what would you like to do?
Well, I'm angry.
You've made me mad now.
Yeah, you mean that. I'm gonna aim. I'm gonna head over. Let's see. I'm gonna use 4 thrust points and head towards. For some reason, the screen's black now.
Oh, your
Yeah,
screen
I don't
blacked
know
out?
what to do about that. Yeah, but it's okay.
Okay. You can move me, I guess. Oh, there it is.
Okay.
Yeah, that's better.
So you're wanting to move towards the trader?
Yeah.
So you can move 8. You can move 8 hexes.
8 hexes. Okay.
Yeah, it's basically 2 times your thrust rate.
Let's move 1.
Okay.
Okay. And then I'm gonna fire on the trader.
Okay. So 2D plus gunner turret plus dex plus 1 for fire control.
So that's 9.
That is hit. 2D plus 1 for damage.
It's only 6.
Well, that still means he's going to take 4. Which is good for him, because at least it's not a critical. All right. Jace, what would you like to do?
Probably the same thing. Well, Happy's kind of in my way. Let's try firing on the gun.
Okay.
That comes to 12 altogether.
So 2D plus 4 for damage. Now this poor rogue trader is just getting the shit beat.
9.
Okay. So he's going to take 7 and just narrowly misses getting another critical hit.
All right.
Happy. I love how you guys are just like, okay, fuck these guys. We don't really know that they really are pirates, but we were told they were pirates, so you know.
And I
Yeah.
fire.
Just doing our job.
That's right.
So where are you? Are you wanting to? How many hexes are you?
And move 2.
You move to? Okay.
I don't see any reason to get any closer.
Yeah, there you go. So at this range, I'm going to say that you get an additional +1. So 2D plus gunner turret plus dex +1 for fire control and +2 for range. You're now approaching close range. Oof. So 2D +4 for damage you hit. 10, he's going to take 8, which is just enough. Roll 2D. Here, let me find my critical hit. There it is. You got an 8. Ooh, maneuver drive.
Ooh.
All checks to control spacecraft are at -1. That's an important one. I'll make a note of that. So Happy lights him up, and you can see parts and a flash come off of his engines. Zayden.
Oh, God, gets me out of this place back to the Imperial fleet.
Yeah.
Enough of this shit. I'm hitting everything. I should go back to the real Navy. And I want my own Corvette.
Well,
Now that I'm a lieutenant commander, I should at least be an XO.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Like, what distance to that trader is here?
Short. Or that would be close. So you'd have a +2 to hit.
Fire control. Dex. Gunner turret. All right. The 14 hit.
Nice. Okay, so
That's a crit, right?
that is a +6 to damage. So it's
Yeah,
every
so
10% of their hull is a crit. They started with 80. That is
16.
2 crits. Okay. So he's going to take 14. So that's 1 crit. Oof. Oh, God. Roll 2D.
Okay. 10.
Jump drive. All checks to use the jump drive suffer DM -2. So you see Zayden light him up, and you can see from the rear of from the aft of the craft where the engineering compartment is. There is the pulse laser rakes across it, and you can see that there are jets of flame shooting out of the rear of the ship. The rogue trader, man, this poor bastard, gets through the jamming, and he moves 2. He's bugging out still, but communication gets through the jamming. It's broken up, and you hear, "We're a civilian craft. Please stand down. Stand down. We surrender." And they do not fire back. Darren,
Somebody needs to tell them if they surrender, they're going to get airlocked. They're going to get space lock. Go right out the space lock.
That's true. That's true. There's no winning for them in this situation, is there?
There isn't. No.
I mean, we ain't going to do it, but that damn admiral's going to just push them right out the airlock.
Darren, what would you like to do?
Oh,
The
man.
moral conundrum.
Ask your commanding officer with you.
Yeah, Zayden, what should I do?
Our orders are destroy this craft, and that's what we
All
should
right.
do. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna destroy
You could radio Eurisco asking for
Yeah.
clarification.
Well, we're jammed.
It's jammed, isn't it?
Well, I would think that you would probably have encoded transmission through the jam.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, you can ask them what the fuck they want, I guess. On my turn, I could ask them when it comes around. But, I mean, we were told to destroy the ship.
Eurisco, they say they're civilians. Yeah, should I proceed?
There's a pause, and then you get the comms officer comes out and says, affirmative, Captain, weapons free.
Weapons
Love me some
what
free
does that
weapons.
mean?
Hell yeah.
I assume I know what that means. What is this?
So weapons free means you're open to fire whenever you want.
All right, okay. I'm gonna fly up behind Zayden and I'll do another 5 points of thrust this time to 10. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Okay, and then I'm gonna shoot at the Red Far Trader.
Okay, so you get an additional +2. You're now in close range.
Nice. So that's 13.
So that's a +5, 2d +5 for damage.
15.
Jesus. So he's going to take 13 points and roll 2d.
9.
Another hit on the cargo hold. And it, holy shit. 60% of all cargo is destroyed. So Darren lights him up. You can hear the pulse lasers, and the entire cargo hold of the ship shatters, and you see crap floating out in space, bits of fire coming off of it. You see one crew member floating out in space, no vac suit.
Oh, wow.
That was dumb.
Jace, what would you like to do?
Fire.
You're at +2. With an additional
Ooh, I have
+1.
off cars.
Oh, shit. Well, that's 16. That means he's going to... Oh. Well... So, Jace lights him up, and you see this entire free trader, or far trader, just start to come apart. The whole thing just vaporizes and shreds.
Mission accomplished, guys. Way to go.
Hell yeah.
I'll teach them to fuel up at our station.
Fuck them.
Make stuff like
Fuel pirates.
Fuel pirate.
So you are radioed from Eurisco. Flight Squadron, this is Eurisco Actual. Excellent job. You are cleared to return to the mothership. And
Roger that.
you guys are able to turn around and return to the flight bay. And you come out, and as after you land, well, just for shits and giggles, everybody make a piloting plus dex, piloting small craft plus dex check. I want to see how well you're. Let's see if you missed the trap.
10. I did better.
12.
Excellent. Looks like Zayden fucked it up.
I got a 5, yeah.
So, yeah, Zayden comes in, misses the trap, gouges a big hole, a big gouge into the docking space, but he gets it down. And the crew chief is like, Jesus, Colonel, what are you doing to my deck? And
giving you something to do during jump space.
It's going to
Get
take
that shit patched up.
It's going to take us knuckle draggers another 2 weeks to bang out all the gouges into the deck. The Admiral's not going to like this. But
yeah, we'll come through, and I got you some prime liquor and cigars up in the station area there. Just come on by where the Marines are. We got stuff for you.
He says, "Oh, well, in that case, yes, sir." And he salutes you. The rest of you, as you guys are coming down, a couple of the deck crew are really rather quiet. They're not like, cheering you like you would expect from a successful attack mission. They're pretty
This was
quiet.
not an attack mission. This was the massacre.
Yeah, it was. And,
do you say that out loud? Happy? Do you say that out loud?
No.
Okay. So yeah, the deck crew are really quiet about this, and it quickly becomes apparent to you that last transmission that made it through the jamming, some of them heard that. So there's questions like, well, was this really a pirate ship, or was this actually a civilian free trader?
Well, what wouldn't pirates say to save their lives?
That's true.
Right.
That's true.
We were just following orders on that, but I think what we should do is one of the quiet members or something, tell them, man, go on our ships and remove and get the logs, get the comm logs and everything.
Yeah, there's a gun cam.
And and compile that all together. And I'd like to follow a report with the Navy. A captain giving commands and orders that constitute war crimes.
Go ahead and make a leadership plus social check, and you can make that with a boon.
Okay. 2 plus another 1 is 3, and then 3 dice. Everybody agree with doing that?
Sure.
Everybody cool with that? Yeah.
Certainly.
So 4 and 4 plus 3 is 11.
So the deck chief salutes you and says, yes, sir, I will get on that immediately, and I will have that information transferred to your private quarters.
Please
Sounds
have
great.
it double encrypted.
Oh, you want him to double encrypt it?
Yes.
That's probably not a bad idea, sir. And so they, the deck chief kind of comes over and he leans in close to Colonel Zayden and Lieutenant Commander Happy, and he says, do you want me to carbon copy that to the old lady?
Yes.
Okay, I will send this to Captain Lynette as well. And so they immediately get busy working on that. So we will break there for tonight, and we will pick up with the Navy characters again next week to see what more complete bullshit is going on in the 198th Punitive Fleet. All right.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Right. I mean, nobody really wanted to be a murder hobo Marine thing, right? I mean, we were kind of wanting to follow orders and then report it.
I wanted to be a pirate board,
right?
I wanted to board it and capture it.
We could have done that, you got to speak up. Yeah.
Well, honestly, though,
I set up a limited liability partnership and put it in the freighter business.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, though, Happy was probably right. I mean, the crew of that ship's fate was pretty much sealed.
Yeah.
Yeah. As soon as the admiral said they're a pilot, he was going to automatically airlock them. And
right.
He pushed them right out the airlock.
Exactly. Exactly. All right, guys.
That was fun.
I will see you next week at 6:00 on Wednesday night.
All right. Have a great night.
No Braunhaven game this Saturday. Brian's going to be at an anime convention and decided it was probably best to not sacrifice your characters with not enough fighter and ranger being included in the party.
There's a lot of tank
Yeah.
power goes away when Brian ain't there.
That is true.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean,
Okay,
what I
we'll
like
feel
about
anything.
what I like about the Braunhaven game is everybody is really kind of detrimental to what's going on.
Yeah, even with
You
two
know?
characters, if one person is missing, it can really screw things up.
Yeah. I mean, Cameron is the healing and the moral compass, and then Brian is the tanky tank, and I am the thiefy comic relief.
Right. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh yeah, so pretty cool. Have a great night. Thank
Have a
you.
good night, guys. I'll see you next week.